Welcome in, Brew Crew. This is the Cream City Curveball. Obviously, last night we were watching the Bucks game and the Brewers game, and thankfully the Brewers gave us something to be happy about because the Milwaukee Bucks, they're not doing it on the other end over there at the Cream City crossover. But as always, I'm Chris King.
And I'm Jeff.
Yeah, man, we got Jeff in here. No Justin today, but we're still going to keep this thing rolling. Brewers win it 11-3 in the second game of a four-game series versus the San Francisco Giants. They moved to 13-11. Jose Quintana, got to talk about him to start. I mean, only goes 3 Ks. He's only had something like 9 Ks or 8 Ks in his three starts, but he's 3-0. He's 3-0, goes 6 innings. He's a ground ball pitcher. That's what he does, and he's been a tremendous addition to this Brewers staff. There's a stat out there that says he's the first Brewer in his Brewers debuts in those first 3 games to win 3 in a row since CC Sabathia in 2008. Jeff, I just wonder, what have you seen from Quintana that's just been a big addition to this Brewers pitching staff?
Well, he's just been doing what he's done against us for ever now. And I'll tell you, my concern was when we picked him up. Obviously, he's mowed us the Brewers down forever, and so I was excited that they got him. My concern was his age and the fact that you get a pitcher who's got that much talent that has bounced around to that many teams, kind of makes you scratch your head and wonder what kind of dude are we going to get. Well, through 3 starts, man, all that doubt is gone. And we got the Quintana that's living up to the back of his baseball card for a long, long time.
Yeah, certainly a good thing, and a good thing that the Brewers' defense is holding strong when he's out there because he's going to get those ground ball outs. And we talked about the first game of the series where the Brewers kind of booted the ball around a little bit, and this game it was kind of an opposite thing where the Giants now had an error issue, and I think that's due to just the Brewers being able to put the ball in play. Looking at their lineup, obviously so many lefties going against a righty in Jordan Hicks who has a fast sinker. He throws the ball really hard, upper 90s, but if you're leaving the ball over the outside part of the plate for our lefties, it's just going to be tough. So, what did you see from the Brewers hitting lineup that made you think that they had a good chance in this one and ended up winning this game by 8?
Well, you're right. The Brewers lineup with the guys that they have is so much better against a right-handed pitcher than a lefty. There's so many lefties in that lineup that when they face a lefty, you're worried going in. Anytime there's a righty on the mound, the crew is going to have a chance. You had Bryce Terang, who I think reached base 5 times, had 4 hits and a walk. Durbin continues to do well at the plate so far in the early part of his career here. So there was a lot of good. Yelly with the grand slam. Nice to see him finally start showing some of that power. And he had the amazing slide in the loss in game 1 of the series 2 days ago. Follows that up with the granny yesterday that really blew the game open. But the interesting thing about last night's game is that the Giants scored 3 runs, but they ended up pounding out like 11 hits. And so Quintana, with the way that he pitches to contact and ground balls that he's able to get, this is 2 games in a row. Last night was a win. Game 1 was a loss, where there were tons of traffic on the base pass for the Giants, but timely double plays really helped the Brewers out. And with Quintana, he's able to sit there, pitch to contact. You got a great defense behind you. You don't need to strike everybody out. And so you pitch to contact, which increases your pitch efficiency, which means you're going to go deeper in the game and save your bullpen. There's really nothing bad to say about any of that.
Yeah, yeah. And on the opposite end, the Brewers, they were taking extra bases. They were making sure they didn't have force outs at first. Chorio, I saw Yelich do it. Just smart awareness on the base pass. Like, they really did a good job of advancing and knowing just off the crack of the bat, knowing what would be down and what might not be down. And so I think they did a good job of that. Terang as well. When you look ahead to Game 3, you got Freddie Peralta on the mound, and you're facing Logan Webb. So another righty, you're facing Logan Webb, but you talked about how the Giants they still banged out 11 hits. What's the key for the Brewers in this Game 3, and maybe for Freddie Peralta against a lineup that we've seen now in 2 games they can hit the hell out of the ball?
Yeah, Giants sure can hit it. So Freddie's just got to be Freddie. He can't be wasting pitches. Don't play with your food. Freddie's great at getting up, in the count, get these guys down 0-1, 0-2. And then so many times he goes full on these guys. Keep your pitch count down. Get out of the first inning no more than 15 pitches, or you're screwing yourself from the jump. So you got to get off to a fast start. Be efficient with your stuff and don't be scared to let these guys put it in play, which is weird to say after they pound out 11 hits last night, but they only got 3 runs on it. And so, you got a phenomenal defense behind you. Let them play some D.
Yeah, I think he's got to locate his fastball too. I think there's a lot of guys on the Giants. You talk about Lamont Wade Jr., guys that can really crush a fastball if it's middle. Matt Chapman, Heliot Ramos, like those type of guys. Wilmer Flores. You could just go down the line of guys who
Yeah,
can
Jung Hoo.
yeah, the guys that can just crush fastball. So I think Freddie's going to have to really focus on locating again, like you said, getting ahead in the count and not wasting pitches. So yeah, that'll do it. The Brewers 13-11 right now. They head to who is it? The
St.
Cardinals
Louis
next.
after this
Yep,
series.
yep. So 10 game stretch you said of away games.
Yeah, 4 in San Fran, then to St. Louis, and then to the south side of Chicago. So you got 7 tough ones. You get a little 3-day break going against them losers on the south side of Chi-Town, and then you come home and you got the Cubs coming. So this is a tough and important stretch for the Brewers here, especially with how good that the Cubs are playing. It sucks that the Brewers have, they're playing well. They've got, a decent amount of victories lately, but they're not, they're not doing anything except trying to keep pace with Chicago because they just refuse to lose. You wait this out. Let Chicago, hopefully their June swoon starts here in late April, and we can sit there and take control of this division. But very important 13-game stretch here when you include the 3 with the Cubs. Once the Brewers come home next Friday, you gotta keep stacking wins.
Yeah, and keep winning those games in the NL Central when you go to play the Cardinals too. All right, so that'll do it for the Cream City Curveball from Chris King.
And Jeff.
We'll see you guys next time. We'll keep you updated on everything Brewers and Milwaukee Bucks if you head to the Cream City crossover, but it's not looking like that'll last long. But you guys take care, and we'll see you soon.